This Guy's Garage. Like and subscribe.
Today is 1,000 days since Russia's further invasion of Ukraine. And the world should have given Ukraine the help it needs to win this war a long time ago. And I'm going to read from segments of a report by DisinfoWatch. For example, 70% of those exposed to the narrative about financial aid being misappropriated either believe it or are unsure. So just think about what impact that has on Canadians as they think about whether Canada should be continuing to support the Ukrainian people. If 70% of them are thinking that maybe that aid is being misappropriated. I continue to read. We found a marked difference in susceptibility to Russian disinformation along political lines. Conservative supporters who report the highest exposure levels to Kremlin narratives are also more likely to believe in them compared to their Liberal and NDP counterparts. For instance, only 55% of conservatives exposed to the quote-unquote Ukrainian Nazis narrative believe it is false. The Kremlin, I'm reading from the report, the Kremlin narratives that we tested are those that regularly feature on Russian state-controlled media platforms like RT, Sputnik, and in statements by the Russian government officials and diplomats. And they include, number one, and this is in quotes, financial aid sent to Ukraine is being pocketed by corrupt officials within the Ukrainian government. Weapons we send to help Ukraine defend itself are just being sold on the black market instead, close quote. Open quote. Ukraine and NATO are the ones who started the war with Russia, close quote. Open quote. Russia is at war because it is trying to defend itself from Ukrainian Nazis, close quote. Open quote. Russia is going to win eventually, so sending aid to Ukraine is only delaying the inevitable, close quote. Open quote. Ukraine should give up their eastern territory for peace since the people living there are Russian anyway, close quote. We've all heard this stuff. Polling during the first months of the war found that get this is like really important, found that just 9% of Republican voters believed that the United States was providing too much aid to Ukraine. 9%. That number increased to 49% in April 2024. So it went from 9% to 49% in about 3 months. In a year, in over 2 years. In the same time frame, Democrats who believe that the U.S. is giving too much aid to Ukraine increased from 7% to 31%. The same Pew report also found that 55% of Republicans lacked confidence in President Zelensky in contrast to 65% of Democrats who said they are confident in Ukraine's president. Similar trends have been observed in Canada. A February 2024 Angus Reid poll found that the number of Conservative voters who believe that Canada is giving too much to Ukraine doubled from 19% in May 2022 to 43%. So, I'm reading from the report here, 70% of Canadians exposed to this narrative, the narrative that financial aid sent to Ukraine is being pocketed by corrupt officials within the Ukrainian government. 70% of Canadians exposed to this narrative either believe or are unsure if this narrative is false. That's significant. 70% of Canadians. Indicating a significant failure to raise awareness of the facts about this issue. Over half of Conservative supporters believe this narrative to be true, compared to 29% of Liberal voters. Among the various Russian narratives included in this poll, this particular narrative was the second most believed among Conservative reporters. According to the BBC, the Kremlin has created fake listings for the sale of Western weapons on dark websites to give the false impression that Western weapons being donated to Ukraine are being sold off on the black market by corrupt members of Ukraine's military.